Holy crap! That looks freaking amazing! So, let's try and compile as much of that info as we can because BioWare managed to impart a fairly decent chunk of it. So let's start with the two main things that BioWare clearly wanted us to take away from this. There are no loot boxes in Anthem. There will be some cosmetic features that will be available for purchase, but that's it. There will be no gameplay enhancing or gambling mechanics in the game. And Mark Dara confirmed that you can earn all of the customization stuff in-game too. The other main takeaway was clearly aimed at the long-term BioWare fans that become increasingly concerned that BioWare may have been forsaking single-player narratives to make a generic Destiny clone. Seriously guys, they could not have dropped the word story up on that stage more if Anthem had secretly been a massive crossover between Neverending Story, Toy Story and American Horror Story. That would be weird. In summary of the story beats we're aware of, according to lead writer Kathleen Rootsett, the gods of this world, called Shapers, just up and left one day for reasons, leaving behind all their tools. This has left the world unfinished and extremely hostile to humans. These tools also conflict with an extremely powerful, mysterious force called the Anthem of Creation. You are a freelancer. You are trained to use these exosuits called javelins, and they showed an N7 skin. I want it! Sorry. It is your job to go beyond the outposts and Fort Tarsis to defend against the beasties of the world, as well as the Scars, described as invaders by the director of the game. Kathleen also brought up our ancient foes, the Dominion, which is intriguing because they were explicitly stated to be a human faction. They believe they can weaponize the Anthem of Creation. Maybe that's what's aided them in making them such an ancient foe for the free people of Fort Tarsis. Mike Gamble described the Dominion as that principled, direct in what they want, and will stop at nothing, but elaborated that in Anthem there's no good or bad, just shades of grey. In the gameplay footage we heard Owen, the English male voice you hear, was described as Mike Gamble as your Cypher, who you would get to know in-game. Now let's jump into the classes. We now have Ranger, Colossus, Interceptor and Storm. Translating into the BioWare archetypes, Colossus is the tanky warrior, Interceptor is the fast and nimble rogue, and Storm is the ultimate cosmic mage, with Ranger being thrown in there to be an all-rounder and in between the three. Mark Dara confirmed that you start with Ranger and you unlock the others as the story progresses. But unlike BioWare titles, where you just choose your class in character creator and you go from there, Anthem gives you the ability to switch between your javelins, as long as you're not currently out on a mission. You can switch up at Fort Tarsis, or at one of the outposts, or at your Strider, a heavy-duty utility vehicle that you can use out in the wilderness. Sorry to disappoint all those crazy Mako drivers, you can't drive the Striders, unfortunately. It has also been confirmed that there is no PvP or player versus player combat at all, which Mark Dara said has allowed them to be very out there in terms of how crazy they can make the weapons on the javelins. Mark Dara also said there's no reason you can't get every bit of loot that you could possibly want for all of your javelins on one character. Also, in regards to colour customization options, they are reusable, unlike shaders in, say, Ahem. The game is designed so that Fort Tarsis and a few other specific hub locations function as the access to the story-driven single-player content, so that no Dong Lovers 69 will be running across the screen. Once you get outside the story hub areas, there will be both invitation and matchmaking systems, so you only play alone if you want to. No local co-op though, which is kind of a shame, but to be expected. And for those of you who don't have anyone you know to play co-op with, they will be matchmaking, or if you want to solo the game as much as possible, apparently Strongholds are the only part of the game that will require 4 players, but don't worry, you don't need to complete the Strongholds to complete the story. Unfortunately, BioWare has confirmed a major staple of their unique storytelling will not be featured in Anthem, and that is romances. I know, this might just be a deal breaker for the lot of you, but hear me out. Mark Dara tweeted, "It's not a technical limitation, but rather a design choice. The door is not closed for after launch." So yeah guys, I would very much hold out hope that romances might just sneak their way into Anthem further down the line. And he was keen to stress that there are still relationships and character interactions, there just won't be any romantic relationships at launch. Kathleen also mentioned your crew, specifically having a conversation with them in your Strider before heading out. She names them as Halleck, Faye, and Owen. There is also absolutely a character creator for your freelancer, who is voiced, however you cannot pick which voice option you want beyond male or female. According to Mark Dara, you do need to be online to play. He also confirmed, among other things, you need to level up your pilot as well, so your freelancer becomes better and better interacting with the Javelin the more you progress. That's the majority of the news, but here's a few little miscellaneous tidbits. There may have been an attempt at bribing Mark Dara to put Isaac Clarke's suit from Dead Space in Anthem, but while he didn't confirm it, he didn't exactly shut down the idea either. Consoles are locked at 30 FPS, but PCs are not. Anthem will have dedicated servers, there will be emotes. Gear drops are based on your freelancers read your pilot's level, so you should always be able to use your gear in some capacity. Enemies absolutely do drop loot. Health is pickup and not regen. There are no plans for cross-platform play. Some weapons are specific to class, so expect to see some mammoth-sized artillery that only the Colossus can wield. And if you're interested in the breakdown of the gameplay side of things, don't forget to check out Tucker's video on this channel. Did I miss anything? Are you excited for Anthem? Has this year's E3 renewed your faith in the game? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.